Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to another episode of the Parry, and this is gonna be a goodie, man. I already see it. I already know it. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one, people. You know what I'm saying? Welcome again to another episode of the Parry, where we don't pull or duck no punches. And the parry is fundamental to boxing. I'm your host, Bomani UFG.
And I am the pragmatic Che Black.
Yeah, man. Welcome everybody that's here with us live, YouTube space, the parry. We back again. We had to do this show because Friday Friday show probably won't happen. So oh man. Yeah, Friday show probably won't be able to
That
happen,
blood
man.
clot. Get that blood clot echo out of here. That blood clot echo up out of here.
Yo, so today's show for ourselves. We're talking Haney versus Shakur. Business or is it personal? Man, oh man. These Twitter streets started to heat up, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. It's starting to get, at first I thought it was just these guys trying to sell a rivalry, trying to sell a fight with a little back and forth. And then, they're young brothers, and in the black community, we got a big thing with pride and ego. So I thought that's what I was looking at first, but it's really starting to look like some serious bad blood with the language that's being used back and forth on Twitter. I'm really not liking it that much, to be honest with you. However,
well, hold on. Before let's get to the shenanigans first before we get to the crux of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? First thing, Shakur, I don't know who he filmed this video with and who these other people are, but he did some video with somebody claiming or acting, pretending to be Devin Haney's cousin, and this is what he posted up on Twitter.
You right here, right?
Oh, right here?
Yeah, right here.
You're making me nervous. Watch out. You can't do the face. You
No,
can't do the face.
What?
A face shot?
What?
You gonna do a face shot?
Ain't you said you Devin Haney cousin?
Well, I need my gloves. For real then. Like, I gotta hit back. Bro. I gotta hit back. You not finna hit me in my face, bro. Come on. Ooh. What's up, son?
whoa.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, Cor. Let's go. Let's go.
Don't
Let's
run,
go.
don't
I ain't running. I ain't running.
So stop moving. Stop moving. Stay right here.
Well, Devin Haney wasn't too appreciative of that tweet, and this is what he put up. This is what he tweeted right after Shakur shared this. He says, "Bruh, getting more and more corny." Now, I'm gonna keep it a bean, man. I don't even see the purpose of this whole video. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this is supposed to be funny, like a little satire. I don't know what he was attempting to do here, man. But Devin Haney ain't find that, too amusing. So right after that, Shakur comes in and he says, he's posted a tweet of Devin Haney's father. Might be skipping the tweet here and there, but bear with me. But we're gonna get to the tweet that he posted of the man, Mr. Bill Haney, and him having a personal conversation. Now, I definitely didn't know how Jersey feel about this one, but yeah, go ahead, let's get to it.
Inside the weight classes, when we move it, just like niggas is moving now, brother, if it's too hot at 30, we already ready to go to 40, bro. That's why I told him, I said, inside the weight classes, when we move it, just like niggas is moving now, brother, if it's too hot at 30, we already ready to go to 40, bro. That's why.
If it's too hot at 30, we already ready to go to 40, bro. And this is a conversation between Shakur Stevenson and Bill Haney, and Shakur came out after the fact and said his man was recording, and he didn't know his man was recording, and he didn't ask him to record that, and yada yada yada. But yeah, he held on to it before. Yeah, he held on to it
before you go any further, I just want to make this statement. Me
Yeah.
personally, and I speak for the Parry. Video recording secret phone conversations, screenshotting messages, private messages back and forth. All that shit is that's detective work right there. That's police type shit. Go put your wire on. Shakur, you from the hood. I got nothing but love for Shakur Stevenson. Nothing but love. I feel like he could be pound for pound the greatest boxer in the world in another 2 years, possibly. However, I don't like those actions. I don't condone that type of behavior that you're doing right now, young brother. Now, you your own man, you're gonna do what you do, but I don't personally, that's not North. That's not how we move in North. That might be Las Vegas, but that's not North.
I'm gonna take it a step. I'm gonna take it a little step further than that, man. I don't think it's good for the culture, man. Period. You know, that's the term we're using now, right? The culture. Like I don't see nowhere in the culture where this is appropriate, where this is something that people co-sign. But I will say the social media age has turned a lot of people into undercover police, man, where we doing police type behavior and secretly tape recording conversations and on video and audio and screenshotting conversations and people inboxes and all of this and that, man. Like everybody getting caught up in this madness, man. So I will say it's just best for the stand-up and solid individuals moving forward, man. Just don't be trusting people. You know, be careful with how you speaking and be careful with what you tweeting and sharing people inboxes, man, because this is how people behaving out here nowadays. But before he shared that video of Bill Haney, he said, "You a B word, just like your BA father, and shut the F up before I post him talking crazy." And I guess that little 8-second clip was supposed to be Bill Haney talking crazy. I mean, like this just started to go left real fast. So this is what Devin Haney posted. Yo, mama a B. Wow. Clout chasing ass, steady trying to ride the next wave. Post that little video you keep talking about, broke bum bitch.
Biatch.
Man. Wow. Yeah, like that's crazy. Like that went left really, really fast, man. Like it got real disrespectful. But I mean, you can't expect. I mean, to me, moms, you know, you crossing the line, but at the same time, you know, some of us ain't grow up with our fathers and don't know the respect that, you know, some of us have for our fathers, and we're gonna feel the same way if we talk about our our beloved fathers, man. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
You know, I can't be mad at Devin Haney for responding in the way he did, because I felt like Shakur crossed the line first, but it didn't stop there. It didn't stop there, man. These brothers really was going after it. Shakur said, I guess after Devin called his mother a B word, he said, and now I better not ever catch you by yourself anywhere, because I'm smacking the out of you. Make sure you tell your security, never leave your side, bitch ass.
See, this is getting ridiculous now. This is a sport, and you have the chance to fight. I remember when Holyfield made a statement when after Tyson bit him, and he said that if it's about fighting, if you mad that that you feel like I'm doing something, why don't you whip me in the ring then?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is how I'm starting to feel with Shakur Stevenson right now.
But here's how Devin Haney responded.
You guys.
He said, me and you can go somewhere and fight for real. And I'll bet that 25% I'll whoop your ass. Like, dog. Shakur should have just took the fight, man. If it's going to be all of this, he should have just took the fight. You should have took the 25% and went for it, Jack. Like, he called your mama a B word. This man
that's
said,
a whole nother story. That's a whole different story. We're gonna talk about that. Then we got it. That's the business part. This right here ain't none of that.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say it like my man Avon told Stringer. This that other thing. You know what I mean? The shit that they talking, this that other thing. This ain't that business part. You know what I mean? This ain't the business part.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Look, man. So the question is, Haney versus Shakur, business or personal? Like this kind of crossed some lines here, Jack.
Well, I mean, now it's personal with the comments. They've made it a personal thing with the disrespect that's flying back and forth. They've made it personal, and then revealing secret conversations, and the whole objective of him exposing this conversation was to show that the brother was is ducking, I guess, to show that him and his father never wanted no type of smoke with them from the conversation. And so now you look at the whole conversation, and the whole argument becomes context now.
Well, we know that there's a history between them two. Like it appears like they was like legit friends, at one point in their young lives. And now I don't even have it, but there's some sparring footage that came out. Like I seen a sparring match from like, I don't know, it might have been like 6 years ago when Shakur was going in for the Olympics. I believe Shakur was about 20 and Devin was probably about 17, 18 years old. And they had like a legendary sparring match. And if you're asking me, my opinion, it seemed like Shakur probably got the slight edge on him, but it was it was good work for both fighters. It was good work. But Bill Haney just recently put out how pretty much, and this is just my opinion, if you give up in a sparring match, like you lost, you got stopped. So, and there's some footage of Shakur saying, "Man, I'm tired." Like I'm keeping it being. I even like the way he said it. "Man, I'm tired," and kind of just walked off. Like wasn't a good look, but at the same time, context is everything. Like was he just whooping on Haney the previous 3-4 rounds before he said, "Yo, I'm tired"? But he could have been, "I'm tired of whooping your ass." Like who knows? You know what I'm saying? But this is becoming a Twitter, a war in the Twitterverse, where they releasing footage and secretly taping conversations and talking about each other's parents and mamas and this and that, threatening each other outside of the ring. Like this is now this does help build the fight. So it is part of the business, but
it can be used good for business? As part of the business,
right? Could there be some type of secret?
I mean, if you're asking if it's part of the business, I mean, if it's good for business, business is about bottom line. So if it's gonna generate more money, then ultimately it will have been. Now, if you're looking at the overall picture and not just Haney and Shakur business, is this good for boxing business? Is this good to become a regular? I mean, fighters have practiced this type of level of disrespect for years now. So this is not something new. The only thing new is the mediums that we're seeing it on via Twitter and Instagram, and now we see they're outright making sketches now. They look like he's doing TikTok videos and shit. Like, so I don't know what the fuck's going on, but with all of this going on right now, it's more of the medium. It's not so much of the disrespect. With the personal, there's always been bad blood in boxing. It's always been fighters who've had serious "I don't like you" issues. Sometimes the ring worked it out. Sometimes after that after going at it and giving it all they got, and there was a respect earned in the ring. And then in other times it was like, yo, they could still care less for these fighters. So
yo, man, the age that we in right now, man, and especially in boxing, like you got Caleb Plant slapping fire out of Jamal Charlo. You got these two brothers going at it publicly, like to the point where they threaten to do something to each other outside the ring. Like, I'm just wondering, like, man, I look, this definitely can't become part of the business. This can't become fighters' new go-to way to kind of promote the fight or hype themselves up, because for one reason, ain't no signatures on no paper. Ain't no contract signed between these two gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Agreeing to fight. So we may not even get the fight. Like, I believe one day it's going to happen. I believe this fight more likely going to happen at 147. But the fight, like if you guys ain't fighting all this level of disrespect, at least when at least when Mike got seriously disrespectful with somebody, man, it was already the ink was dry on the contract. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, we know that they're not going to be fighting each other in the next probably 2 fights. We know at least the next fight for each of them is not going to be them coming up next. But with that said, we know that they got fights coming up. That's where this all is on Shakur. See, Shakur just needs to get back in the ring and whoop some ass and make himself look like the best fighter in the world doing it, or one of the best fighters in the world doing it, which he had been doing up until recently. Regardless of we talking about his level of competition, it's still the fashion that you handle your business.
Right.
And he's been continuously handling his business the way you would expect a rising star and someone who gets the accolades he gets early for his amateur career. You would expect someone to be defeating these fighters in that fashion.
So let me ask you a question, man, because like I mean, after seeing Shakur, some of these antics that he's pulling, man, and the level of disrespect that he's showing for somebody, because I remember seeing an interview with Shakur, he was like, I'm not going. He was saying how he didn't want to shit on these brothers, meaning Bill and Devin Haney, like I don't want to shit on them and say that it was this or that or that they scared or this and that. Like this literally came out of his mouth. He didn't want to say that. Oh, no, I don't think Devin's scared. Or this, that, and the third, to now I'm going to directly shit on you and call your father a bitch and whatever I want to say now. So what our question is, like, who's handling this young brother's career, man? Like,
I think it's a lot of immaturity right now. I just think it's, emotions and immaturity and having the access to say whatever you want to say at your fingertip. And then the whole world can hear it at that moment. I think that and that's not a good, that right there is not really a good thing, especially for a fighter in his career. Focus, brother, focus.
I think he should have kept Andre Ward on his team, man. Andre Ward always been a level-headed fighter and businessman, and he kept things professional. And I think when Andre Ward was in his camp, things was running a little bit smoother. And this ain't no disrespect to Jay Prince or whoever else he got rolling with him, but it seemed like since he got somebody like Andre Ward off his team, he don't know how to conduct themselves out here as a businessman. I mean, you turn down a 25% offer for a fight for Undisputed to do what? To go fight for a vacant belt, right? Pretty much put yourself in the same position as Devin Haney before he got his opportunity. Like, and all, Devin can activate his champion emeritus status and come back and fight you directly for that WBC again. But he's not going to agree to a 50-50 when he bringing 4 belts to the table to your one. So it's like, we
know that it's not going to be a 50-50, but like I'm going to say, like Mayweather said, be a little bit more fair. And I think we even had this discussion on this platform, but be a little bit more fair.
Well, what's fair?
35-65.
Well, he could have came back and negotiated that, man.
35-65, something like that.
It's like you did all of that.
I don't know if it was a take it or leave it deal, but like I said, it definitely seemed like the 25-75 was more of he was upset because that's how he got done with Bob Arum. And people are even suggesting that Shakur should just shut up and and go the route that Haney goes. But that's
Haney actually
when people say stuff like that, but like I said, Shakur is not Haney. So when people sit there and try to talk about how Shakur should be going any route that Haney is going, I mean, they're not looking at the fact that these are 2 separate fighters, and Haney would have gotten frozen out if he didn't go the route he went. Haney wouldn't have gotten network support. He wouldn't be. He had to go that route. I'm glad he did. He did the Hagler route, just like Hagler had to go the route he had. Sugar Ray didn't. Trinidad had to go the route he did. De La Hoya didn't. It is what it is.
So what was the route? What's the route for Shakur? Like, tell me the route he's plotting for himself right now
I can't tell you the route that he's plotting for himself. I can't tell you that. I'm just saying that I think that Haney could have been more fair with a 60, with a 25-75 split.
I think what Bill Haney said in regards to give us a number, which is more around about, you know, what you're trying to get paid as opposed to a percentage.
He said he knows he's not the A side.
You not only are you not the A side,
Shakur stated that he knows he's not the A side.
You're not only are you not the A side, and you have nothing that you really bringing to the table, but your name.
Nah.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Once you start saying shit like that, now you got to rewind the statement.
What?
Nothing but your name. No, your name
at 135.
Yeah,
no. What I'm saying is all I'm
big.
saying is you bringing your name to the table. So my thing is, as opposed to a percentage, because Devin Haney didn't get a percentage when he. Devin Haney didn't get a percentage. He got a flat fee.
That nothing.
You could have said, You could have said, I want $5 million.
And nothing.
Give me 15 million, whatever. Like you could have came back and said, all right, if I can't get a percentage, give me 15 million.
I don't know what was going on at the table. I don't know. I know what. I don't know. I know that 75-25 was offered. That was rejected. And
I just feel like the way
Shakur went on to say that he knows he's not the A side.
The way Shakur been handling himself throughout this whole process to me been kind of bugged out. Keep it a bean. From the contract negotiations to what he's doing right now. Like, I don't even understand what he was trying to prove. Now let's get to this, man. Like, what? Let's get back to this part right here, man. Because this is really where I think we need to discuss, man. Because I don't understand what he was trying to prove or show by exposing this little secret clip that he recorded. So I'm gonna play it again.
Inside the weight classes, when we move it, just like niggas is moving now, brother. If it's too hot at 30, we already ready to go to 40, bro. That's why I told you. I said inside the weight classes, when we move it, just like niggas is moving now, brother. If it's too hot at 30, we already ready to go to 40, bro. That's why.
Well, first thing you have to do is assume. First thing you have to do is assume that it is what is it. When he says when it gets too hot, and right there, I don't know what it means. So therefore, I can only assume from my own conclusion of what it could mean, what it might mean. But from the little bit of conversation in that clip, there is no real context for me to sit there and say what it meant. I know it doesn't sound like what Haney's father is saying that he was saying. However, I can't sit there and run with what he's saying. I definitely can't just run with what Shakur is trying to say. But
what is Shakur trying to say?
Let me finish my statement. I already said what he was trying to say. I said that before when we talked about the tape earlier. I said that. I said it live. I said it live in the program. I said that he's trying to assume that he's ducking him or him and his father's ducking him. I said that already, and I'm gonna say that again. That's what the presumption is. However, what I'm saying is this: I can't jack that. That's exactly what's really going on there because it's a clip. And the clip can be manipulated to say whatever he wanted to make it be saying, being he's the one releasing the clip. But the real question is, what is the it? He said, if it gets too hot at 30, we have to move to 40. That's the question. And that's where the answer is. And what he meant by it.
The it is not important more so than
it has to be.
He said
he's claiming that it is the fight. He's claiming it means the fight.
Well, this is why I
believe that's not what it sounds like.
Here's why it sounds like that to me. Because in the beginning, he said, in the weight classes, right? The way cats is moving, I mean, he used a different word. The way in words is moving, like we moving, right? He said, if it's too hot at 130, we ready for it or something to that effect for it at 140. Now, Devin Haney never fought at 130.
Hold on, say that again, because that doesn't sound.
All right, let's play it
like
again. Let's play it again.
I'm just saying you was repeating what he said, and it didn't sound like what he said.
I said more or less. I wasn't saying exactly how he said it, but he said.
No, but any word.
All right. Let's go again.
Can change the trajectory of that statement.
Classes, when we move it, just like niggas is moving now, Brother, if it's too hot at 30, we already ready to go to 40, bro.
He said if it's too hot at 30, we are ready to go to 40, bro. Right?
What's
now,
it?
Devin Haney,
What is it? What is it?
Let me
the situation.
Finish,
if the situation at 130,
listen,
like, what's it?
You know, he said in the weight classes. I'm gonna use a different word. We cats is moving, how we moving, right? Like how when he said cats, he talking to Shakur. How you guys are moving, meaning moving up in weight. You went from 126 to 130.
You're doing a lot of extra. Like I'm not jacking
Ain't
none
no
of that.
extra.
You're doing
It's
a lot
what
of.
he
You're
said.
doing a lot of. What you're
it's
doing
what
is
he said.
you're doing a lot of
translating
and saying that what he's saying. No, I'm not. I'm only going off of what he's saying, and that's all I can
but
go
you asked
off
the question.
You're not going off of just that.
If
go
you
ahead,
asking what the if you
I'm just telling you, I don't run with what you're saying. I hear
listen, you. If you asking what it is, I'm explaining to you why it is the fight.
No, you can only assume that. You can't explain that to me. If you truly think you can explain off of that video the context of what it is, then no. Only thing you can do is tell me what he is saying it was.
Hold up, listen. But if you telling me that you're going to totally eliminate him saying in the weight classes where cats is moving.
That's not what I told you. That's what.
But that's what he said. I'm saying I
don't think
but
that's
what. But that's what he said.
Okay,
but
that's what he said. And
though.
Shakur saying that and saying something else.
No,
both of them is kind of like, okay, so now it's who you believe.
Let me finish. Please let me finish.
Go ahead,
bro. I let you rock. Let me finish. But you not taking into context the beginning of the clip when he mentioned the weight classes. He said in the weight classes where ends is moving. Only person that was moving at that particular point in time was Shakur. But he said the way ends is moving like we moving, like we are moving. They was moving from 135 and had plans to go to 140. So he said if it's too hot at 130, we already ready to move to 40.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like it had nothing to do with like it is the fight. That's what it was.
That's how you took it. That's how you take it. That's not how I'm taking
it. But he mentioned the weight class. Did he not mention the weight classes? Did he not mention people moving? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay then.
That don't prove your point though.
That all I'm saying is if that makes more sense than he was ducking him or he was trying to avoid Shakur, that makes more sense to me. If he's talking to Shakur, you the only one moving, and we ready to move to 140.
Like I said.
Shakur Devin never fought at 130, bro.
Like I said.
That's just the fact.
It's not enough. It's a little clip. There's not enough context. And I would have to assume that that's what the it means. I would have to assume that it means anything. I don't know what it means. I'm just keeping it a bean. I need to hear more of that conversation to really get a gist. I don't even know if that shit was cut and spliced and it was said in the succession of how it was even said. If it went from the niggas is going from 130 to and then it jumped. I don't know if it was even said smooth like that.
All right, so let me ask you a question then. I'm just gonna pose a question for you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Bill Haney came out and explained what he was saying, right? You got Shakur.
I expect him to try to
hold on. Let me finish. You said clean up what?
Whatever.
Listen, he came out and explained. He came out and explained what he was saying. You got Shakur that put out that little clip and didn't give no explanation or no context of what the conversation was actually about. He's making people assume that Bill was trying to say something different. Correct? So let me ask you a question. Who you believe is more trustworthy? Somebody who gonna sneak record a private conversation and put out a clip that he hold on for 4 years? Or you gonna believe a man who ain't have no proof or no evidence that he's
not doing all this circumstantial bullshit, man?
I'm just asking you a question.
But that doesn't prove. But that question to me,
who seems
doesn't prove. It doesn't prove nothing though. It doesn't prove who. It don't be two scumbags and one is more trustworthy. Don't mean like two scumbags and one is less. I'm just saying I don't know this nigga Haney. Like I don't know Bill Haney.
Bill ain't never show himself to be no liar or nothing like that. You got to do secret tape recording.
I don't like.
Come on, fam.
I don't like.
That's what I'm saying. And then you're gonna hold on to it for 4 years, and then you don't even explain what the conversation was about. It ain't like he said, "Look, We was talking, and he said this, that, and third. So in this clip, this is what he's saying. He didn't do none of that.
Okay, I said what I said. This is how I feel, man.
Shakur didn't even explain himself, dog.
Okay. That still doesn't mean that it ain't either way.
I do like this question though.
We asked that question already.
We did answer that. Is it bad for boxing though?
Is it bad for? I said it was bad for boxing overall, but it's not nothing new. You know what I mean? I went into the whole spill. I said, yeah, it's business. I said, is it bad for the business? Because we talking about really that. And then I said, it's not bad for business if it creates a bigger bottom line. But as far as being bad for boxing, I mean, the way it's going, it's bad for boxing if they don't fight. And it's not something that I would want to see encouraged amongst other fighters. I don't want to see this being a trend where fighters decide to have Twitter wars. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they start going on for years and shit. But we don't know how it would have went in Pernell Whitaker era if he would have had Twitter and these guys. Like, I don't know how it would have been if, in Mike Tyson's era, if there was a Twitter.
Mike was rolling around with gangsters, man. So that probably wouldn't end up. That probably, when he said something was going to happen, something probably was going to happen.
I'm just saying, I don't know how Twitter. I'm just saying, as far as what would have been going on back and forth, period. Like, I don't. So I can sit there and act like these guys is out of hand, but shit, things that was being done in the past between boxers with bad beef.
Let me go ahead and remind the viewers,
you had boxers pull burners. You had boxers pull burners on people before, like on other fighters before.
On promoters.
I'm talking about people they was fighting. I'm talking about the blood.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm talking
about between two fighters, though, but we talking between two fighters, though. We've had worse shit than this.
Let me just remind the viewers, you are watching the Parry. Please jab that like button, uppercut that subscribe button, and go ahead and slap around that share button a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? Show us some love, man. We're trying to build this channel, trying to get ourselves into the algorithm of this so-called this corner of the boxing universe on YouTube, man. We're trying to carve out our own throne where we belong, right up at the top, man. But yeah, man, I just don't want to see this, all of that. Tell your security don't leave your side, and we can fight for real for the 25%, man. Like, I hope none of that come out, manifests itself, man. We need these brothers to fight inside the ring where it counts, where it matters, because anything can happen out on the street, man. Both of you guys can end up losing your career behind this bull, man. So I just hope these brothers find some at some point. And like I said, I believe at 147 it'll probably happen, unless Shakur, just skates out of 135 like right now, because there's a lot of big fights waiting for Devin Haney at 140, man. He's already got, from what I'm hearing or what I'm reading, the pro grade Haney fight is scheduled for November 11th now. I think it's already signed, sealed, delivered, so that's happening. And then after he probably, if he beats Regis pro grade, he probably got Teofimo lined up after that. So, and a Tank fight maybe right after that, depending on how things play out. And Shakur at 135. You know what? Let's get into this real quick. In other news,
ha tenido pues muchos cambios. Se ordenó inicialmente a Shakur Stevenson contra Lomachenko. Lomachenko declinó. Se ordenó contra Isaac Cruz, que también declinó. Y ahora está ya negociándose la pelea de Shakur Stevenson contra Frank Martin por el título ligero del Consejo. Es una división.
So you see my man Mauricio Suleiman said it in Spanish, but you saw the what you call it, the translation at the bottom, but pretty much what he said. Lomachenko was first ordered to fight Shakur for the vacant title. He declined. Isaac Cruz was then next. He declined. So next up after that is Frank Martin versus Shakur Stevenson. Listen, man, this is who he need to be talking about. This is who he need to be, hollering at and talking ish to, man. It's Frank Martin. Leave Devin Haney alone right now.
He's already looking past Frank Martin. He's already past Frank Martin.
Yeah, See, and I don't know, man, because now it came out how Frank Martin, sparring is sparring, but sparring ain't sparring either. So it already came out. Somebody in Mayweather's gym came out and said that Frank Martin came into the gym one day and dazed my man Tank in the sparring session to the point where Tank wanted to get real and throw real hands.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Tank got hit with a good punch in the gym. So all of a sudden that puts Frank Martin in the league. I seen Frank Martin last fight. Come on now.
I mean, that's one fight.
I hear what you're saying.
I mean, but
that's one sparring session. That's one sparring session. It happens.
Errol Spence.
It's one sparring session. It happens.
Errol Spence pretty much made his name off sparring people.
Okay, but you just said one punch. Errol Spence. Errol Spence made his name in the beginning, but Errol Spence came out and executed. Errol Spence wasn't looking like Frank Martin.
Facts.
So let's not sit there and act like it was his sparring that had people recognizing Errol Spence. Errol Spence, we knew he was special.
But they all out that same crop, man. Even though I don't think Frank Martin was in the amateurs with these guys, or what was like probably on the same circuit as the Devin Haneys and the Shakur Stevensons and the Ryan Garcias and even the Boots Ennis. Like they was all in that same class. But Frank Martin, he's looking like he a serious problem. And now on paper, this is looking to be Shakur's toughest fight and vice versa. So this is probably one of the most exciting fights that we're gonna get at 135 at this point, man. That don't involve Lomachenko or Devin Haney or any of them boys. So I think this is who he need to be focused on, man. He need to leave Devin Haney and Bill Haney alone, man, and start focusing on his fight against Frank Martin for that vacant strap. So that way, if Haney do decide to come back down to 135 to become undisputed again, then one, you got more leverage to, you still only got one belt, but you got an argument to say something now in this conversation. And on top of that, you just beat Frank Martin. You completely removed him off the table. You can't afford to lose this fight, man. But how you see that fight playing out? Who you favor?
Shakur Stevens in a wash. He'll probably rout him within 7.
Wow. You think he stopped? I think Frank Martin too much of a dog to get stopped, man. I can't see him getting stopped.
The ref might call it.
I think Shakur wins, but I can't see him dog walking him. I think it's going to be a good fight.
I think Shakur Stevens in his next fight is going to show us everything. He's going to show us whether he's in the lineage of a Mayweather, of a Sugar Ray Leonard, of his man Bud Crawford, or is he in the lineage of Zab Judah, Hector Camacho, Prince Nassim Hamed? He about to show us where he really at.
Yeah, I'm mad you threw Zab in that class, but all right. So Zab Judah, Hector Camacho.
Maybe Hector might have been the one I shouldn't have put in there because he might have made the list seem worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Come on, man.
It's like I put them next to each other.
But don't throw Zab in the mix with Hector Camacho.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Well, I say Prince Nassim Hamed and Zab Judah in the class with them too.
Look, man, if you ask him, all right, so now let's get to it though. In a potential fight at 140, 147, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. Who you favoring? Why?
Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney?
Yeah. If that fight ever happens.
Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson even seems like he's confident. Like his confidence, the way he seems, I'm pretty like from what I've seen from both of them, I definitely see Shakur winning that fight. I will put everything on Shakur in that fight. I'm telling you that right now. If we was doing gambling or some shit like that, I will put everything on Shakur winning that fight.
Based off the
only person that got a chance in that little group against Shakur is Tank.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think for a fight like Shakur Stevenson, I think Tank may be an easier fight.
No, it would be, but I'm saying he's the only one that has a chance.
because of the punch.
Because of the punch and the fact that he can punch off at so many different angles. He is extremely intelligent. His IQ, he thinks, is extremely quick in the ring. Like, there's certain things that Tank is able to do that will give any fighter in the world a problem. And because of that, I do think that he will have an easier time with a Tank Davis style-wise. But if anybody has a chance to do it, it's Tank Davis. Nobody's outboxing him. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I think the more they go up in weight, 140 even, or especially at 147, I'm giving the edge to Devin.
See, Shakur doesn't have to rush that issue, and he'll get bigger. He'll settle in weight as he gets older.
But he's the older kid. Excuse me, he's the older man. But yeah, he's the smaller man. So
he'll get older though. He's still young though, but he's young though.
What I didn't show in that clip, because I seen it extended, I saw more of that clip where Bill Haney was expressing. He was saying how the gap between Shakur and Devin was shrinking, because he mentioned in that same conversation, where you only see 8 clips, he mentioned in that conversation how Devin, Shakur.
You seen that? You seen the other part? See, that's we should have been playing all of that.
He said that Devin, like there was a gap between Shakur and Devin. Like Shakur would get the best of him in sparring, but as they got older, that gap started to shrink. And now in the professional ranks, he believed that gap has shrunken even more. You know what I'm saying?
But he's still saying there's a gap though.
No, he's saying
now he's saying there's no more gap, but because you just said it shrunk more. So now he's saying
at that time, we talking about 4 years ago.
4 years ago, he was saying
there
was still a gap. Because I heard more. I actually heard more of that conversation, which is why I was listening to the little clip. I'm like, damn, there was more said. I heard more that was put online, and part of what I heard put online was that him talking about the gap. But he never mentioned the gap not existing. The gap existed at the end of the conversation. I remember that part specifically, which gave credence to the whole what the it was, as far as on Shakur's side of things. Not to say that meant it was right. I'm just saying it gave credence to that.
I hear you, man. I just know you pro Jersey, man. You know
nah, because if I was, Shakur would have been like that. The fact that I had to see that and I'm talking about it is something that's problematic for me. Jersey or not, that's not Jersey. That's the part of Jersey that, because, every place got, you can't just
That's New Jersey.
Yeah, that's New Jersey.
That ain't Brick City. That ain't Brick City, man. But Shakur, man, stop recording people, man. That shit is whack. Tell your people, if that's your man, kick him off your team, like right now, like today. Say, look, fam, now you're not ever doing that again. That's a horrible look, man. I'm sorry. That is just a horrible look, man. Like, you can't be out here tape recording people and they don't know, man.
Not at all.
That's super whack, man. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully these brothers, keep it all business, keep it out the streets, and keep it professional, man, and keep it boxing, man. Because I definitely want to. It's one of my. This fight is probably as anticipated for me, like as a fight fan. I ain't gonna say as much because it's more at stake in regards to Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford,
right?
But on a just anticipation level, like this is a fight I really want to see, man. This fight gotta happen within the next couple of years, but it definitely ain't happening next. I think they both kind of going in 2 different directions in a sense where they're at in their respective weight divisions. There's already big fights in front of them where they can still let this fight marinate a little bit more.
I don't
think they gotta stay. They gotta stay off the Twitters though. Huh?
I don't think it needs to happen next.
No, definitely not.
I think that this is a fight that can mature and marinate. It can mature into next year or early 2025.
But what happens if one of these guys loses? See, that's the thing. Like one of these guys loses before they get to
then they're not. Then it's what it is. They're just not that special. That fight they probably would have lost if they would have fought then. You understand what I'm saying? Diego Corrales was looking spectacular coming from behind to win, to knock people out. He was looking phenomenal, spectacular to do this. But then when he fought Floyd, he just got beat. Just whipped, just plain and simple. He was going to lose eventually. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just don't be who he, but if he's special, he won't lose. Just like Spence didn't lose, just like Crawford didn't lose. If they're special, they won't lose until they meet. Just like Hearns didn't lose, just like Ray didn't lose. You know what I'm saying? When they special, they meet to prove who's that dude. Because one of them has to be the one. When Frazier was Frazier Ali,
When we get
these
back
guys,
on
when
here,
these guys
man,
met, nobody that gotta go. That was something. You know what I'm saying? That goes back. That goes back because everyone's went, but it's when it went and how it went. You know? And that meant something. Some people, early they got a bum decision, or Hopkins, I think, lost like his first professional fight.
Yeah, his first professional fight he lost. Yep. And he lost early to Roy in his career. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't that early. It was early.
I mean, it wasn't that early, but it wasn't when he went on that dominant run.
It wasn't
before that.
You remember, they were the two guys. When he fought Bernard Hopkins was looked at as a young, about to be the next. Roy Jones actually propelled himself off of beating Hopkins.
Right.
And that's what put him in him and James Toney run. But it was because that was remember, they were fighting for the IBF middleweight title.
Right.
Jones won that belt. It won that fight. He went on later on to move up in weight to super middleweight. And when he went up to super middleweight, my shit was fucking up. When he went on to move to super middleweight, he then relinquished that belt. And guess what? Hopkins fought for the vacated version that Jones vacated, and Hopkins held it down all the way up until he ended up running into Jermaine Taylor.
The next time on the Parry, man, we got to discuss that undercard of Canelo Charlo, man. I'm kind of feeling that undercard, man. Ramirez versus Lubin. You got Mario Barrios fighting Ugas. Like that undercard look kind of lit, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like the undercard look like it's gonna be type crazy. But we'll save that for the next show. But yeah, you got any other boxing news you want to talk about?
Nah, I ain't had no news. No upcoming news really. In recent boxing news, the Prince, his son Adam Ahmed, I forgot who he even fought, but he fought on the undercard of the Usyk fight in Europe. He won his first professional fight. Adam Ahmed, son of
Nassim Ahmed's son.
Yeah, Prince Nassim Ahmed's son. So Prince Nassim Ahmed has a son who is now 1-0. We'll see what he brings to the table.
Well, his father, if his father was the Prince, who was he? Prince 2? Like, what is it, man? What he call himself? Roots 2.
He just calls himself. I didn't see it. I didn't even see a moniker for him. I just seen his name, Adam. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's 2 A's, DAM. The fight, I don't believe, was televised. So I didn't get to hear it announced. It was probably a 4-rounder or something like that. And then we already mentioned the youngest Zoo. Not the youngest Zoo. Eubank is
Eubank's Liam Smith. Who you got in that fight?
I gotta see Smith win. I'm gonna be 100%. Eubank, I guess it's the name. Their fight that name just is like, I don't expect Eubank to win.
I have to agree with you. As much as I want the brother to win, man.
If Eubank wins,
he got Bomac in his corner.
Bomac deserves Fighter of the Year for 2 years in a row, just automatically. That's how I feel.
You mean Trainer of the Year?
Trainer. That's what I meant. I meant trainer. He should get that 2 years in a row automatically if Eubank wins this fight.
I think of that one fight he should get it. That one fight alone, the Crawford beating on, you know what I'm saying, Spence. I think of that one fight alone he should get it, man.
He should get Fighter of the Year this year. I'm talking about he should automatically by default get it for next year. Shit. If Eubank, if he can turn Eubank around and Eubank pulls off this decision or this fight, I mean, if he can pull this off, yeah.
Well, let's see if all that crying that Eubanks was doing, talking about Liam was elbowing him and all of this and that. You know what I'm saying? In the first fight, let's see. You know, like Bomac said, man,
his pops. That's really the issue for me. He reminds me of his pops. I'm just gonna keep
that ain't
it
a
real.
good thing. Yeah,
man. I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. He reminds me of his pops. One of the last times I seen his pops was getting pummeled by Joe Calzaghe.
Yeah,
in like men arena in Manchester. He was getting pummeled.
And what arena?
The MEN arena.
Hey,
hey, nah, man, that's the name of the arena, Men Arena.
Nah, not you, but I wouldn't fight in no men arena, man.
It's Manchester, England. I think it's the Manchester, England arena. I think in a MEN. I don't know. I would have to look it up, but that's a big arena over there, the Men Arena, the MEN arena.
Hey, yo,
you ain't ever played one of them games and it came up?
I don't play nothing with men's, man. I'm sorry.
One of the fight nights, they had it in one of them.
Yeah, it wasn't on mine, man, because we don't play that. We don't play like that.
I'm just,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's UK, man. It's the UK. You know what I mean? It's the up. You know what I mean?
And on that note, man, you know what I'm saying? Thanks everybody for coming out, man, checking us out on the Parry, man. Once again, jab that like button, uppercut that subscribe button. Just go ahead and slap around that share button, man. Show us some love. For those in the Facebook group, man, if you ain't subscribed yet, man, you hating, though. I'm just gonna keep it a bean. You guys are suspect, man, and whatever. Help us grow this channel, man, so we go ahead and be a part of this algorithm. You know what I mean? So we go ahead and take our seat on the throne as the best boxing voices in the game.
Quick,
what's up?
Before we end, I just wanted to shout out to the brother Karan Shabazz and Yahuru, Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
You know, they like be going hard. Like every time I look, they in there posting, and they always, you know, somebody else too offhand, but I part of me, I'll get back to them too. But I just
shout out, definitely shout out Karan Shabazz.
Oh, and Mental Son, also shout out Mental Son.
Shout out the whole group, man. We 250 deep.
Yeah, but I had to. I can't shout out the whole group right now. You know what I mean?
Shout out to those who subscribe.
The whole group does not get a shout out right now. I'm not even going to be pretentious.
Shout out to everybody who subscribed to the channel.
Fake shit like that. You know
word.
My man Rock in the building. Shout out to my man Rock. You know what I mean? AKA.
Shout out everybody in the chat, man. Polar Funk.
Yeah, that's my man Rock. You know what I'm saying?
DH, Omar Parks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate the love coming through and supporting us here on the Parry, man. But yeah, until next time, we are the Parry, where we don't pull and duck no punches. And the Parry is fundamental to boxing. I'm your host, Bomani UFG.
And I'm your brother, the pugilistic shape Black.
And until next time on the Parry, peace.